Hello, Ken. How are you?
Good morning, Hock. How are you?
I'm feeling great. And today we're going to have um, interesting and mind boggling news to reveal to the world. And I ask that light workers please make this recording or video viral because what we are going to announce is really, really life changing. And it, as far as I know, to our knowledge, it hasn't been announced before. So basically, Ken Kegley and me has been doing lots of background work in the lightworker community on world issues, and particularly Ken, because I joined him only very lately. Ken had been working on his own for a long time and to heal, to deal with global situations. And sometimes he worked with off world entities, light entities, to help out in this complicated process. Now, uh, to start off, I give a little background on what we are going to say, and we'll start off with our communication with Nikola Tesla. As you all know, Nikola Tesla, actually, who is now on the other side of the veil, was born in 1856 and passed on in 1943, a very disappointed, neglected scientist, and he died alone in a hotel room. Nikola Tesla has actually invented so many things that we are using today. And anyway, Ken started off with connecting with Nikola Tesla on some projects, and I joined in. But I must tell you that it wasn't easy to get in touch with the soul of Nikola Tesla because on the other side of the veil, he's still a very, very busy scientist. As for me, I could only get his attention for about less than a minute or two, and off he goes. And so, Ken, I leave it to you now to talk on those projects that you have been working on, and take it away, Ken.
Sure, Hock. I got a big long list. First thing I need to tell you, Hock, is fasten your seatbelt.
All right.
Got a lot of cool stuff to talk about.
Wow.
Second thing is for everybody listening, please keep an open mind and heart on the things we're talking about because this stuff is unbelievable. Third thing I want to mention is in 1980, a friend, excuse me, who was a school teacher, and he repaired TVs in his part-time and during the summer. 1980, he told me that in the future, we would be hanging a television set on our wall like a picture. I didn't look at him like he was crazy. I didn't laugh at him. I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. So that's the kind of mindset we need for the things that we're going to talk about today. Before we talk about what Hock mentioned, for a number of years, people have been disappearing from federal parks and forests in the United States. It has been an unsolved mystery. They've been also disappearing around the world. Well, just last week, we found a group of negative ETs that were taking these people off planet. A friend of mine, Tom, and I discovered that they were taking approximately 60,000 humans a year. So we worked on these ETs. They're never going to be taking anybody again. And then we had to cross over 1 million souls to the light. That's how many they've taken over the years. So we had to cross those over. The other thing is I've been working on Alzheimer's for a long, long time. So I would ask, how does somebody get Alzheimer's? Is it something in the air, something they drank, something they, was it from Big Pharma? Was it from, I keep getting no. It came to me that almost Alzheimer's and MS, and we don't know how many other illnesses yet, had a dog as a family pet or were around dogs. So it's hard to come up with answers for this. That really blew my mind that there was a dog connection, and then people don't have to worry about dogs. So next I asked, so there's something called mad cow disease that everybody should be familiar with. Here in the United States, they have chronic wasting disease with deer. These are all connected. They might be prions, but they're all connected. So I asked, did this stuff happen naturally? And maybe we forgot to tell everybody I'm a psychic and I'm a dowser, so I use a pendulum or bobber to get my answers. And it's not naturally. I said, was it made in a lab on our planet? And I get a no. It was made off-world by another group of negative ETs. I mean, these negative ETs, they just don't go away. So those ETs are not a problem, and we're working on destroying whatever that is. If it's a prion or a virus or whatever it is, we're working on destroying that. Now we're working, let me back up. I am getting that people with Alzheimer's are going to be able to leave their nursing home.
Oh,
isn't that fantastic? Yes, well, I'm getting, it's going to take over a year because some of them are so bad, they've been in wheelchairs for years and years and years. So we're going to start healing their mind first. Because like in Alzheimer's, your brain becomes Swiss cheese. So we're going to work on regenerating their mind, but we also, so you just can't get up and start walking after you've been in a wheelchair. You have to build up your muscles. So that's why that is going to take so long. Now for the healing bed, a couple of years ago, I had a dream about a white fiberglass couch, and next to it was a white fiberglass podium, which was the control center. Excuse me. A few months ago, I mentioned to Mr. Tesla about this healing bed, and he and his group of engineers have been working on this healing bed. It is an energetic healing bed. All we have to do is put somebody's energetic body in this healing bed, and it works. We have verification that it works. A few months ago, we put a pony in it that was almost dead. The pony is alive and well. We put a young woman in it with a brain tumor, and she was supposed to have surgery at the end of this month. She's not going to have surgery. The brain tumor went away. So this is marvelous things. People might ask, well, how is an energy bed going to work, a healing bed? Some of us have been attacked psychically with a weapon or punching us. So that's kind of how it's going to work. Because some of us energy workers, what happens is the bad guys want to shut us down, so they will energetically attack us, which feels just like a physical attack. It's not going to be fully functional until around November because we have to add things to it. We just added regenerating organs and eyes and things like that. So let me look at my notes. Oh, the free energy device.
Oh, Ken.
Yes.
Hang on. Before you move on to the free energy device, can I add something about the healing beds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, Ken and me were also working on the healing beds with Mr. Tesla, and I had a patient who had severe allergies all over the body and resulting in wheals formation and severe itch. So I asked Tesla's permission to put her into the healing beds. And what do you know? In about 2 days after, she didn't have the allergy attacks, improved so much, and also the it didn't recur until about 2 weeks later, Ken. And 2 weeks later, I took her again into the Tesla healing bay, and the improvement has been tremendous. So, this is my personal experience with the healing bay. And of late as last week, Ken and I had been trying to tweak a little bit on
Right.
the healing, and asked Mr. Tesla to look into it. Okay,
Yep, I want to add something about the healing beds.
right.
Right now, just a few of us can put people in there. We're getting about next November, December, something like that. Anybody can put somebody in the healing bed. So if you know a family or friend that's sick, all you have to do is envision them in the healing bed. The other thing about the healing bed is it is not instantaneous for something like that. Now, we're working on getting it to be instantaneous for a trauma like a car accident. Suppose somebody is in an accident and they break their leg, the bone's sticking out of the leg. We want to be able to put somebody in this healing bed. First, you want to stop the bleeding, and then we want to mend the bones and the muscles and all that stuff. I'm getting, once this is perfected, when you come upon an accident that happens, that person will be better in about 10 or 15 minutes. It's going to work that fast.
Wow.
So yeah, so this is
Fantastic.
going to have a big impact on everything.
As I said, fellow light workers, ladies and gentlemen, what we are revealing is really unheard of.
Yes,
And as Ken has mentioned before, please have an open mind. All right.
yes,
So these things are not very, very far off in the future. It will be in our lifetime.
yes.
Carry on, Ken.
Okay. The next thing is a free energy device that Mr. Tesla is working on. It will be a kind of a solar panel, 4 feet by 4 feet by about 4 inches thick. It will produce electricity for the average size home. I'm getting it will put out here in America 220 volts at about 300 amps. most houses most houses take 100 amps to 150 amps. So
Yeah.
this will take care of a big house. They will be free. They will
Woo.
be free to everybody. So third world countries that don't have much money, or people in anywhere that don't have much money, it's going to be free. The only thing we're going to have to pay is for an electrician to hook it up. They will be UL approved, and we're working so there won't be any tax. Because that's the first thing you're going to do is they're going to want to tax us, right? They're going to want to make money on this. The other thing is some places they are banning solar
Oh,
panels, so we're working on that. We're squashing that.
right.
So, cities are banning them. Of course, power companies don't want them. Well, tough. power companies are very soon going to be a thing of the past. I think in our lifetime, they're going to start ripping out power lines across the country. Won't that be a cool thing? You can go for a drive in the country and you don't have to look at these wires and these poles and these gigantic towers.
Right.
So the panels now are just going to be for individual homes. There will be a point where we will have them for factories and stuff. The other thing is, I just talked to Tesla the other day. Sometime in the future, I don't know when, he's going to make smaller ones for campers.
Oh,
So like a
wonderful.
2 foot by 2 foot. So you
Right.
can put it on your camper and you're going to have electricity when you go camping for air conditioning or heating. And I asked Tesla, are they going to use these solar panels for cars with electric motors? And I got no, they're working on something else,
Oh,
a free energy device for cars. I don't know what it is. They're not even going to have electric motors in them, because if you remember back at the turn of the century in the 1900s, early 1900s, Tesla had an electric car that had a antenna on it, and he got the electricity from the cosmic rays,
oh,
from the energy in the universe. So that's how he ran his car. But he's telling me the cars are going to run some other way. Um, uh, they have built a factory on another planet.
oh,
If they would have, Tesla originally thought about building a planet here. If they would have went that route, we wouldn't have these panels for another 12 years.
oh,
So
right.
all the licensing regulations and getting the land and everything, they're building it off planet, and we're going to get some of these panels in like November or December again this year. So things are really coming quickly. The door has been more than cracked open. It's been blown open. The next thing is a free energy, teleportation device.
Oh, Ken, before you go to that teleportation, I like to explain something else. You
Yes.
see, when the healing baits or the medical baits are available, and when healing or when free energy is available, those people who are employed in these industries actually need not worry, because Ken has asked Mr. Tesla and the others in the
Very good
off-world,
point.
right, light companies to please look into the welfare of the medical health workers, the hospitals, the clinics, and in energy companies, for them to have an alternative, um, well, job or income or something. So we know that this impact is going to blow everybody's mind.
Thank you.
And yeah, and rest assured that things will be thought of and be taken care
Thank
of. Right.
Yes, yes, Hock. Thank you for bringing that up, Hock. Things would not be proceeding as quickly as they are if we wouldn't have thought about the future ramifications. So when this starts happening, everybody is going to get a paycheck. So
Right.
if you're in the hospital, doctor clinic, cancer care, everybody's going to get a paycheck. In the oil industry, everybody's going to get a paycheck until they can find another job, whatever that might be. We're getting a lot of hospitals are going to be closed within 5 years or greatly reduced. They might be at 20% capacity
Yeah.
of what they are now. Now, we still will need hospitals for like childbirth. We're still going to need dentists, so we're going to need stuff like that. But this is coming quick, so that's why you're right. I'm glad you brought that up. People don't have to worry about losing their jobs and not having an income.
Yeah.
So when you do this energy work, you have to look at all aspects. You have to have a panoramic view of everything, right?
Yes.
Because otherwise, if this were to come, then what happens when these people lose their jobs? You know,
Yeah.
they're in a bread line or in a food kitchen. So you're exactly right. Anything else?
Well, you carry on. Carry
Okay.
on now. Yeah.
The free energy devices. Oh, let me back up. The uh, free energy device, the teleportation device. I'm sorry, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. We don't have an exact date on those. So
Oh,
we don't know if this is going to come to fruition till we get these solar panels and these teleportation devices on our planet. Things could change. Somebody could come in and disrupt it because there's a lot of negative beings out there. So it's not set in stone. Anyways, the teleportation devices, we are supposed to get the end of July. They are supposed to be 4 inches by 4 inches by about 1.25 inches thick. We will leave them at home. We don't have to carry them with us. Once a friend and I are going to get some this summer, we're going to be the guinea pigs because we don't know what's going to happen. So I did get that we have to have it in our possession for 2 weeks so it gets used to our energy field. And then we're going to take short trips with it. So we're going to meet for coffee someday and we might go take a trip for a few blocks just to see how it works, right? We might be for coffee and then we might say, well, let's go to the library or let's go out for lunch or whatever. So we're just going to go.
Ken, I would just say, Ken, teleport me. I'm joining you.
That will eventually happen. But we're just going to test them and then we're going to go a couple hours away. That way, if we get stuck, we can stay at a motel overnight and have somebody come and pick us up. We're not going to have a problem like that, but you never know, so we have to err on the side of caution. And then I was told that my friend and I have to use them for 2 months, and I'm not sure why that is, to get used to them, or maybe so we can explain to people how they work. And then after that, so we're talking November again, we can start handing these out limited numbers for the beginning because they're making these things. So we will be giving them to family and friends. It's the same thing. If I give one to you, you have to have it in your possession for 2 weeks, and then you can start playing with it. So what a cool thing, Hock.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. You know, if we want to get together on a Friday or Saturday night and have a bonfire and a cookout and everything, all we have to do is walk through like a doorway, and I'm right at your house. How cool is that? No spending hours on a plane or a train or a car or anything like that. I don't know. I didn't ask. So I think in about 2 years, everybody on the planet will get one. These again are free. They're no charge. So I believe the people that believe in this kind of stuff are going to get one first, right? Like I'll give you one and your wife one, and then you can show your family and friends, and then go, oh my God, Hock, this is so cool. I don't have to take public transportation or a plane. I can be at somebody's house in a couple of minutes. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm getting it. It's just kind of like walking through the doorway. All we're going to need is an address. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I'm guessing that we have to be outside and then just have an address or maybe a picture of the building that we want to go to, like a restaurant or your house or whatever. And then we end up on the sidewalk in front of your house. The other thing is I'm getting that we will be able to see where we're going, where we're going to land.
Oh, right.
Because there's a story about a time traveler that ended up in a busy highway and he got hit by a bus or a train or something like that, right? So
Yeah.
we have to be careful where we're going to land, right? So we want to land on the sidewalk and we don't want to land on anybody. Phew. So anyways, that's what's going on now. Hock and I, as things progress, we will do videos so we can let you know how things go. So when and if I get these teleportation devices in July, that means August, September, we can do another one and let you know that we did indeed get these and whether they're working or not. Because I know folks are going to have a lot of questions. We still have a lot of questions. What were you going to say, Hock?
Yes. I need to say 2 things. To our new viewers, please subscribe to this channel and then hit the bell so that you will be informed as we will reveal more and more in the future,
Yeah.
right? The latest news of all these devices. And there's one more thing, Ken. I actually, in our meetings together, in our weekly meetings,
Mhm.
you know, actually about 3 or 4 years ago, it wasn't a dream, but it was a thought in my mind, and I don't know how I got it, but I had a picture of me standing in front, visiting my brother, all right, who is in Australia. And it was a vision, it wasn't a dream, Ken. Forgot to tell you this about, when we had our weekly meetings.
Mhm.
So, so it was, now that I remember, it ties up all together. It's going to be true. And as Ken says, the moment we have uh, new news, we will put up on this video. Okay. Carry on,
Yeah.
Ken.
And this is just a start. We have no idea what's going to happen. So we started out with the teleportation, the healing bed, the free energy, and then these ETs that were taking people off the planet. We did that last week, and then this week with the Alzheimer's. This is all crazy stuff, but we're starting to get things that are coming in. So people no longer have to suffer with MS or Alzheimer's or any of that other stuff. I'm getting, and you can douse when you get time. I'm getting. There is no more chronic wasting disease on the planet.
Oh.
Now, here in Wisconsin, where I live, in the United States, last November for the deer hunting season, they had um, dumpsters to put animals in if they tested positive for chronic wasting disease. And I don't know how it works. I guess they have instant test kits where you can
Oh.
test your deer to see if it has been infected. And what they do is incinerate the animal. But what happens is if an animal is infected, other animals eat it, then they become infected. If an animal dies and the body decomposes, those prions are in the land. Nothing gets rid of them. Up until now, there isn't any infected prions in the land that are going to damage stuff. So all this stuff is big scourge for the planet and humanity.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Wow.
it is. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ken and me are in the thick of these things, and we still find it mind boggling.
That's what I told a friend. I said, this is hard to believe. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone movies, right?
Right. Yeah. But we need to be brave and
Yeah.
forge on and come up with this announcement today because um, with with a lot of people's positive energy and thinking, it will help a lot in our work to give us that kind of energy boost,
Hmm.
to the projects. We need that kind of support. Well, of course, there's going to be people who are going to criticize and so on. You get all these things all the time, but we need more positive support.
Yes. 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 Instead of discrediting everything or some of the stuff that we talk and others talk about, right?
Yeah.
Say, wow, would that be cool to have this or that and not have to, like the teleportation, not have to take a plane anymore? How cool is that? You just pack up your suitcases. You can go anywhere that you want, or you can go anywhere you want for lunch or dinner. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
well,
school kids can go to
yeah.
school safely and teleport to their classroom, you
Well,
know.
I was just telling my son. Um, I said, so with this teleportation device, you could live out in the country someplace and work in a city. You don't have to bother about traffic. You don't have to worry about weather conditions. You can just teleport to your job. Oh, how cool is that? Not driving in the snow or the rain or at night. or not driving at all, because some people have commutes an hour or two long to get to their work.
Right.
So, oh, this is going to be a godsend. Yeah, long overdue. We should have had this a long time ago, but the Illuminati and the cabal and the power companies and everything else are shutting this stuff down. They're about done. They don't have any power anymore, and I don't think they expected this day to come this quickly
Yeah.
to be able to shut them down, right?
We have been suppressed too long, Ken.
Yeah, yes. There's going to be a change in the banking systems, like we talked about. I'm not exactly sure, but there's too many crooks in the banking system. I've heard that, and we've talked about this, that our birth certificates are worth well over $1 million, and the bankers have my money, and they got your money, and when I want to buy a house or car, what happens? We are paying interest and late payments if we're late on our money. Is that fair? No, that's coming to an end. And I get, what did I get? Something is going to happen with when I do this, I'm just using my bobber to check for an answer. I'm getting, I think in 2 years, something is going to happen with our birth certificate money.
Right.
When we were born, our birth certificates might have been worth 1.5 million, but the bankers spent a lot of our money. So it's not going to be worth that kind of money. I don't know how we're going to get the money, but there's going to be something in a couple of years. And I don't know if it's going to be cash money, if they're going to put it in our checking accounts. I don't know. So that's also in the works. So people have to also understand that this is my full-time job, doing this energy work. So it's from the time I get up to the time I go to bed, and I never know when I'm going to get a call from somebody. And typically, like when I call you, we just might want to say hello, how you doing, and then we end up working an hour or two. So it is very draining and time consuming. So it's interesting. So anything else, my friend?
Well, just as an indicator, the whole world actually, politics and so on, is in a turmoil, in chaotic position, energy-wise, So this is just an indication for you to open up your eyes. Things are changing lightning fast, as someone else may say, at the speed of God.
Yes, talking about politics, there is going to be a point in our lifetimes where there are not going to be politicians. Yes, we don't need them.
Yep.
A number of politicians do start out as good people, but then they get hypnotized by power and fame and money. And so there is going to be a point where we don't have politicians. It's like here in America, we the people, by the people, for the people. So good things are on the horizon for that kind of stuff. Yes.
So are you going to talk about the replicators, Ken?
Oh, yeah. So these solar panels that Tesla is making on another planet, they are going to be made with replicators.
Ah.
And that was one of the things too with this factory on the planet. They would have had to build the machinery. And when I called in Tesla, I said, well, we can do this on another planet with replicators. And myself and some of my friends saw him with a smirk on his face, kind of a smile, like, why didn't I think about that? So you're all right. Thanks for bringing that up. They are building everything with replicators. So I think the replicators will be done by the end of March. And then, of course, they have to tweak things and make sure everything works. So that might take another month or two, but thanks for bringing that up. This is all done with replicators, and like I said, this is not going to cost anybody any money except to have an electrician hook them up. They can go on your roof. Oh, that's the other thing. For those that live in snowy climates, these will produce a small amount of heat, so we don't have to worry about snow and ice buildup on them, right? So we don't want people going on their roofs excuse me, to clean off the snow and ice, it's going to be a small amount of heat, so we don't have to worry about that. Or you could put it next to your house. You don't have to put it on your roof. So that might be a cheaper route to go. Or on your house where the electric line comes in, so you don't have to spend a lot of money on expensive cable, because a cable that hooks up to your electric meter is about the size of your thumb. That's a pretty big fat piece of wire, and you know how expensive copper can be. So you don't want to be running 100 feet of this stuff or 50 feet. If you can run 10 feet and hook it up to maybe where the wires come into your house, maybe something like that. So yeah, that's all in the works. An exciting time to be alive.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to explain a little bit about replicators, Ken. Well, everybody knows about 3D printing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the old model of a replicator.
Yeah, thank you.
The technology of 3D printing is already here, and replicators is far beyond 3D printing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when the healing baits come in, and then free electricity or free energy comes in, and people will already ask, what about food? You know, replicators can make almost anything you want,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
your food, your clothes, whatever. So,
Exactly right.
can I tell you, these are exciting times.
Yes, sir, they are. Yeah, you're exactly right about replicators. They'll be able to make anything for us.
Right. So once we have food and what we need, you know, I think that's the key to people need not have a job. I think that's the key because you need food and water for survival. All right. When you have that under control, then you really don't have a job. So in future, I can foresee people doing jobs just because they like it. They like to
Yes, wouldn't
contribute.
that be wonderful?
Yeah, they like to contribute their time and skill to the community,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So the concept, the change that is coming is huge, 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 you know. Ken, wow.
Yeah, a pollution-free planet with free energy and everything else. And then um, um, people are going to have money to get the things they need. Everybody is going to have a nice house, a vehicle if they need it, food on the table, clothes to wear. There's not going to be no more like here in America, the 20s and 30s, where people lived out of their car. They had to live in shacks and tents. That kind of crap is not going to be tolerated anymore. Everybody's going to have a nice place to live and everything that goes with it. No more people starving.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
What a wonderful world. There's a song, Louis Armstrong sang that, right?
Yeah.
What a wonderful world. That's one of my favorite songs.
Oh, wow. Right. And anything else you need to add on, Ken?
No, sir, I think that's it. If something comes up, Hock and I will do another interview because we don't know. This stuff is coming so fast and furious. What might happen a day from now, an hour from now, or a month from now. So yeah, we can let you guys know when something comes up.
Thank you, Ken, for your time and the work that you have put into. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it is not easy to get Ken because uh, his time and my time have to coincide. And as he has mentioned before, he worked till late in the night. And our meetings are usually in the mornings in America. So he has to get up early. As a matter of fact, we have another project right after this, and Ken, I will contact you again.
Hmm.
So we have lots of work to do, something about the oceans. So thank you very much, Ken, for your contribution, your sacrifice, your time, and your big, big heart.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Welcome. 阿弥陀佛. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, Ken. Ken, you're still there, right?
Yep, I'm still here.
All right. So I'll need to download the recording, and you look into the link I sent in your messenger, and
I saw that.
it will be 10 o'clock your time in the morning. What time now?
Oh, okay. It's almost 9 o'clock here.
So you got about an hour to relax.
Yep,
And
yep. I have to go
put,
see my tax guy. Okay.
right.
Oh, when you have this set, can you send that to me in an email?
What is that? We said.
The thing that we just did, can you send that to me in an email?
Oh, email would be tough until it's a big file. I'll try, Ken.
Oh, so how do you send it?
Um,
Oh, you just put it on Facebook.
yeah, I need to upload it onto YouTube, and
Oh,
then I will post it on Facebook.
okay, because I want to send it to a bunch of my friends.
All right, so I'll do it fast. Okay.
Take your time. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not. You can put it on Etienne's page and the P2 page, but
Right.
I'm not going to put it on my Facebook page because a lot of people are not going to
Yeah.
understand this. But I can email it to my friends that are
Yeah.
into this kind of stuff.
Because once it's on YouTube, when you go to my Facebook, you click on the YouTube, you click on the video, you go right to the YouTube, and
Okay.
at YouTube, if you look down, you have share. You can share the link with email and so on. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Thanks,
Cool.
Ken. See you.
Yep. All
See you
right.
in an hour's time in Zoom.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.